If you have a child at summer camp, this next story may leave you feeling uneasy. You drop your kid off hoping for a fun-filled experience, but do you really know who's watching them? Well, the I-Team did some digging, and as Jonathan Vigliotti explains, criminal background checks are not always required.
Summer camp, a time-honored escape from the classroom, when campfires and dodgeball replace textbooks and spelling tests. But who are the people watching your children? In many cases, you may have no idea.
Parents need to be aware that their children are very vulnerable.
Laura Ahern heads Parents for Megan's Law, an organization dedicated to the prevention of child sex abuse. She says when it comes to summer camps, laws aren't strong enough.
There's an expectation that parents have that any counselor who's working there has been fully vetted and has had a full fingerprint and a sex offender registry check, and that's not the case.
As the I-Team found, the requirements for background checks vary widely in our region. New York requires a state sex offender check, but not criminal background check or a national sex offender check. In Connecticut, no checks are required for camp staff, either criminal or sex offense. New Jersey is the most stringent state in the area, requiring background checks and state and national sex offender checks. But even in New Jersey, not every camp followed the law. The I-Team found 43 camps out of 181 that were cited for failing to do background checks.
What do you think of that as a father?
I think that's negligent.
I think that's a travesty. I think anywhere that you have children, people should do background checks. It's really important.
In a statement to the I-Team, New Jersey Department of Health, who regulates camps, said, quote, "Our goal is 100% compliance with the regulations. In cases where camps didn't perform the checks, the camps have worked quickly to resolve the issue." New Jersey officials also point out they list all of their accredited camps on their website. Tracking down information for New York was much harder. It took the I-Team months and numerous public records requests to get answers. And even then, we're still missing some records.
One of the nightmares of parents is that their child is victim to such an awful thing.
It's a reality Senator Chuck Schumer wants to address with new legislation. It was created after a pilot program found that of 40,000 counselors tested, 6% had criminal backgrounds.
What we've proposed very simply is if you are a summer camp or an employer, nonprofit, whatever, you can go check the federal list for who might be a sex offender so you don't hire the wrong person.
Camp directors we spoke with say regardless of what state you live in, you should always do your own investigative work before sending your kids off for the summer.
And we've got some tips for you, but first we should mention we've reached out to both the New York State and Connecticut Departments of Health. New York did not return our calls for comment. A spokeswoman with the Connecticut Department of Health would only confirm in a statement that the state did not do background checks. So, how can you protect your children? Experts say it's important to visit any camp and meet the director before signing up. Also, find out what the camp's policy is on background checks and ask to see a copy of its latest inspection report. There are many more tips. You can find them all posted online at NBCNewYork.com. We're live here in the newsroom. Jonathan Vigliotti, News 4 New York.
All right, we'll be sure to ask the important questions. Jonathan, thank you. And if you have something you think the News 4 I-Team should look into, call us. The number is 1-866-NEWS244.